Okay, so here's another thing I want to introduce you to. So there has to be a relationship between the power and the pressure, right? Because one thing is creating now the noise and the other thing is observing it. So there has to be a relationship between the two. And that's the relationship. The relationship between sound pressure level and sound power level is given by that equation, where QD is the directivity factor defined as the ratio of the sound intensity at a distance R in front of the source to the sound intensity averaged overall direction. Now that's a very fancy terminology. I want you to write this formula down and I'll explain in a second. Luckily for us, somebody else has done the work for us and given us QDs. Okay, and for our class, there are only two possibilities. So that means QD determines what kind of fields we have. And for us, there are only two kinds of fields that could exist. One is called a free field in which the source emits in all three dimensions, in which case the QD that you wrote equals 1. Do you remember that formula from before? Here? It was SPL equal SWL minus log of QD over 4 pi r squared. For a free field, it is just 1 over 4 pi r squared. Got it? And for a hemispherical field in which the source only emits in the forward direction, that QD becomes 2. Where SPL is the pressure level and SWL is the power level. So remember, pressure is what you experience, power is what is being emitted. So power cannot be depending on R, but pressure is. And these are the only two fields in general that sound engineers worry about. Like if there was a microphone hanging, like a speaker hanging in the air versus a speaker sitting on a surface, right? A speaker sitting on a surface will be a hemispherical field. A speaker in air, which is emitting in all directions, will be a free field. And so QD will become either 1 or 2. That's it. So we know sound is everywhere. How loud is a sound depends on what the sound source is and how away you are from that source, and how many number of sources are present. You would think that as you increase the number of sources, the sound will get doubled, tripled, and so on. That's not true. This is a very good relationship in how many number of sources there are and how much power they will increase. So for example, the increase in the number to 2 results in the sound power level to be 3 decibels, whereas the pressure level to be 6 decibels. 10 sources, the sound increases tenfold, whereas if you go to 20 sources, it only increases the power level to about 13 or the pressure level to 26.